Like, have you ever felt one way about a character when you started playing them and maybe loved them, and by the time you were done, you felt completely different about the character and maybe even hated them?
It's a great question, though.
That's a very interesting question.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I feel like War of the Roses has always been this really interesting study about how just because you love someone at the start, it doesn't mean that you're going to love them at the end. And I was wondering if that ever happens with actors and their roles. Like, have you ever felt one way about a character when you started playing them and maybe loved them, and by the time you were done, you felt completely different about the character and maybe even hated them?
It's a great question, though.
That's a very interesting question.
Actually, I can think of a...
I have, but I can't remember.
I don't know if you've ever seen Peep Show in the States, but the character, and it was two sweet, lovely men who wrote it, and two sweet, lovely men who I was in it with, who all thought my character was just very nice. And I went, she's not. I can't. She's manipulative. And they all went, oh. And it was like, I felt a bit mean that I was...
You discovered that for them.
Yeah.
There definitely are character traits that I can't wait to sort of shed, for sure. Moments as well in a story or two where the toxicity of what's happening to them or that they're causing themselves is, you need to shed.
Is there one in particular you can think of?
No. I can't. I sort of move on quite quickly these days.
No, it hasn't happened to me. I've only grown more in love with my stable of gals as it goes on. Yeah, you find new layers of someone that you are crafting. Andy?
Well, I was immediately, my first thought was going to be like at SNL, sometimes if something recurs too many times, you get burnt out on it. But then I was like, I don't think I ever had one of those. So like, I think the most I ever recurred something was like 4 or 5 times.
Were there other instances on SNL, do you know of, not to necessarily have you call out people, but I'd imagine that was probably a thing where like a character became popular and we all wanted to see that character over and over again. And at a certain point, I'd imagine an actor goes, oh my God, I can't keep doing this over and over again.
I think it probably has happened where people feel like they want to retire it and sometimes do.
Ms. Colman, I have to admit, I'm talking to you from Chicago. And so seeing you cook in a different city other than Chicago felt a little bit like you were cheating on us.
I'm so sorry. I was thinking of you all the time.
That's what they always say. But I would love to know what stood out most about your time spent in Chicago. And is there anything that our city gave you as an actor that you were able to bring to this project?
I was so excited to be in Chicago, and I'm so embarrassed by my terrible geography that I had an amazing hotel room which overlooked Lake Michigan, and I thought it was a sea. It was so big, and I thought, I didn't realize where I was. Oh, I didn't realize I was by the coast. It's so big. Isn't it?
Yes.
But you can't see the other side of it. That's not a lake. That's an ocean.
No, yeah, it does feel a bit like an ocean.
Yeah, it was, and I loved it. I loved the people. I loved all of it. It looked like a film as well. Like when you're in New York and you go, I feel like I'm in a film.
I love that feeling in America.
But there's the railways and the underneathy bits. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, the L, it's the whole, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little Batman, it's a little Ferris Bueller, it's a little Untouchables, it's a little bit of everything.
Oh, I ate at Ever.
Oh, well, of course. Well, Ever is, that's the restaurant from Forks.
But the food was incredible. And I think I had also, not just food, but there was a cocktail there, which is the best cocktail I've ever had in my life.
What was it?
It was sort of sparkly and light and elderflowery and, oh my God, it was incredible.
Sounds like her.
I feel like you could use the exact same adjectives to describe Olivia Colman. Just
sparkly. Well, light could be. Yeah, that could be. She has depth. She has tonality and wisdom. She's not just a little.
She doesn't. Ping. Very shallow.
She's a little bit of tinsel.
This feels like the name 10 things that we love about each other scene.
Okay, so 10 things you love about each other. Theo, you first?
The shape of her head is somewhat pleasing at a distance.
Yeah, it does. She's like a light cocktail. It's going down that route.
Well, speaking of SNL, Kate, I know you got to work with Benedict whenever he hosted SNL. And I'm sort of curious from your perspective, what the difference between how an actor behaves on a movie where things are maybe a little more calm and controlled compared to the pressure of everything that goes on within that week and finally going live in front of an audience. How was Benedict different in those two wildly different acting experiences?
Gosh, I seem to remember that he was just cool, calm, and collected in both environments, which is wild because SNL I thought was like a very wild thing to do as a cast member. And then when I hosted, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This is crazy. But he's a professional, and he is just, he's very funny and very calm as well. And, he was the same in both environments.
He was a perfect host. I'm going to cut you guys loose on this. And this might be a weird question, but I really feel like that dinner table scene has got to be one of the most hilariously awkward movie scenes I've seen in a long time. And I kept watching this going like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would handle a really awkward situation like that. I'm sort of curious in life, how great of a skill being an actor is. Like when you're put in uncomfortable situations, maybe similar to something like that, is it great being an actor because you can just kind of cover up whatever awkwardness you might be feeling internally, or do the skills not transfer from a set to real life?
Yeah, I've always been told that I'm the easiest person to read on planet Earth. I don't usually apply it that way. Like if I'm bummed, everyone's like, oh boy, Andy's not happy. Like immediately, I'll be like, "What? I didn't say anything." And they're like, "Yeah, no, we know."
I'm gonna go back and like really study your face in this interview to see how you're feeling.
My way of, if you could put your knee down so I can demonstrate. I bet everyone does this, but if something bad is happening at a table, it's
Just digging in there, yeah.
Sorry.
No, not at all.
Anyway, it helps to, if your face is calm, your hand has to be doing that.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.